Whenever we're in the world have problems, everywhere need God. Tell them easy no man. From your love think it's bad. Me no know about you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're in tune to WINN FM 90.9. It's on your radio dial, and those of you who are in tune with us on the internet or via any other social media, I want to say good morning. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Friday. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a pity that humans cannot be in tune with nature and enjoy what life really has to offer, what the intention of the creators were when they created us. It was just for us to be just like nature. And nature is always calm, peaceful, even when it's at its loudest. There's always a reason for it, and we should always have that. My name is Andrew Quilly Atherton, and you're in tune to Your Views. Your Views is a program that's aired on WINN FM every Friday morning. Every Friday morning for a few Fridays, I've been having some issues with my throat, as you can hear. It is becoming an issue, yeah. And so sometimes I just can't come because I can't talk. And that is the only reason why I'm off here. It plagues me, it hurts me, because I do like to interact. I do like the interactions, not just the interaction alone. I do like the fact that there are information that is absolutely necessary that we have to have on a day-to-day basis. There's some things that we don't know, and sometimes I'm happy that I can be one of the persons that can bring that information to you. So when I'm not on air, it really affects me. And when we look at all of the negativity that we are surrounded with, this world is so toxic and with negative energy, and people are becoming accustomed to it. That is one of the problems. I want to first send our condolences to all the families that have been left to mourn. We have had a series. I have never seen anything like this. Funerals is becoming the norm in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have to be reminded that we have a very small population, and the rate in which we are burying off everybody sooner or later would have nobody, and that is the sad reality. The thing is, again, that a lot of these deaths are really not necessary. They're uncalled for. People are living reckless and irresponsible lives, and this is one of the problems that we're having. Natural causes, again, it's not even an excuse, because the way we live, the way we eat, the way we know the air that we breathe is already toxic. The energy that surrounds us is already toxic. Our bodies are just one body. It's energy can only take that much, and so after a while, it's going to die. And let me remind you, though, that this is the only chance that we have to live as who we are at this time. So there's never a second chance. So I would say to you that you have to make use of what you have now. Enjoy life. Make memories. It's the prettiest thing. It's the best thing to lie down with yourself, because that's me. Myself is my best company. And I can sit down and I can reminisce, and I can think about all the positive things that I would have done in my life, and can laugh about it. When life throws darts and hurdles at me, I can lie down and I can go back to the positive moments that I would have had in my life, and I would change the situation from a negative to a positive one. And that is how life is supposed to be. But people sit down and they wallow in the negative aspect of life. Every day they get up trying to make people's life miserable. I get up every morning with my affirmations, wanting to be a positive person. But at the end of the day, some negativity always come in. People with their negative attitude, negative problems, and they always come to you. But I suppose it gives me pleasure when I can help. And so if I have to absorb your negative energy sometimes, I really don't mind. But please try to find some positivity in your life and see if you can make your life. And when you do that, you'll make the world a better place. Sometimes you say you can't change the world, but you can make a difference. Making a difference means changing yourself, trying to take back some of that negative energy that you are putting into the world, and you would make a huge difference in changing the world. And that's where it starts. It starts from you. And let us try to be positive. Let us try to be your friends. I mean, we have enough things that divides us. Religion, politics. I mean, there are lots of greed. There are lots of things that divide us. Let us get ourselves in an environment where we are moving into the fifth dimension. The world is changing, and you're going to get left behind because you can't take that negative attitude into the fifth dimension. So you have to start working on yourself and making sure that you're ready. I mean, Christians, for you call it the rapture. I mean, everybody who have their different religious belief, it's the time when there's going to be peace. If you're not a peaceful person, you can't be around at this time. So you have to start working and looking at yourself. Instead of sitting at home thinking about all the negative things about people, try to think about the positive things. And, start trying to love yourself. When you start to love yourself, then you can love the whole world. And that is one of the problems that we're having. We have a deficiency, serious deficiency in self-love. We have to start looking at how we can change that. And when we can change that, we will be able to change some aspect of the world. See how simple it is? Starting with yourself, and you can do that. We all can do that because that's who we are. We are lovers of flesh. We are lovers of material things, forgetting that we are spiritual people. At the end of the day, our physical bodies are going to go to the grave. Worms and maggots are going to eat it, and our spiritual body would be left wanting because during that time we didn't take time to build it, and that is the one that lasts. For Christians, again, you understand what the Bible says. For those of you who are spiritual and understand ascensions and how to find yourself and become awakened and in tune with your subconscious self, you would understand that you have to raise that energy and making sure positive energy, and making sure when you do that, you can raise yourself, taking you straight into the fifth dimension. I have with me this morning a guest, a conscious guest, very conscious person, very knowledgeable person. Sometimes it's tough when you're talking to people who are not on the same level spiritually. It can be perplexed. You can become perplexed, and sometimes you look at the person and think the person is talking nonsense because you are not in tune to what the person is saying. So I'm going to ask you guys to open your minds and breathing all that positive energy, and let's make sure that you have an open mind and you're not judgmental. Think, listen. He's not asking for you for your opinion. He has his own opinion. He's telling you. At the end of the day, you can analyze it and see if it makes sense. And if it makes sense to you, then maybe you can try using that method or that approach and see if that can change anything in your life. Lloyd.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to WINN FM. Welcome to Your Views.
Thank you very much.
On this beautiful Friday morning.
I thank you very much. It is good and pleasant that brother and sister should come together in harmony. It is like the precious oil that ran down the beard of Aaron, down to the skirts of his garments. Like the dew of Hermon that sits upon the Mount Zion, so shall the Almighty bestow his blessing upon us this morning, so that we can bring forth knowledge, wisdom, and understanding without any discrepancy. Thank you very much for having me. I'd like to start off with that same note that you gave about the negativity. I have learned over the years that we can complain every day. We can always find something to complain about. Or we can articulate. We can decide that nothing is going to change us. If I wake up every morning and my neighbor is disturbing me, then he's in control of my life.
Definitely.
Because he decides if I'm going to have a good day or a bad day, which is a bit absurd from the beginning. My neighbor should be his own concern, and I should be my concern. So I have to find a way now to live with the neighbor because I can't remove him. I need him for one reason or the other. And it's a big world. It's God's world. We all have a right to be here. So if my neighbor is doing something negative, I take off my shoes and I stand up on the bare ground, the earth, and I am grounded. And I do something positive. I do something positive. Because if we have negative, positive on earth, we have a complete circuit. And electricity could flow. Through that electricity which is flowing, he will correct his mistake. Because he will see that he is unable to disturb me to the point of being angry, a pass of Popeye, a sauce up, a banana over the fence and give it to him.
Yeah.
Because it is love. My message, part of my message would be that we have to learn to appreciate the natural things around us in order to fulfill our bigger, our greater self. Our greater self is not the one that has $1 million on the bank, a big house over there, 3 on rent and a car. You can't cook your own food. You got to buy food every day. You can't wash your own clothes. Somebody doing that for you. That's why you got to make a lot of money, because you got to spend money for everything you need. You look down on me as a poor man, I am happy. When I walk across the street, I see 20 people that I taught in school working and making a difference for their family. So I know I'm not poor. You tell me I'm poor because I have no material, but I'm not poor because I'm able to take your negativity and make you my friend. Because I understand that everyone has a right. You have a right to be wrong. You have a right to be right. So whichever one you choose, that is you. I am going on my journey. And I would like you to do the same. We have to become one with the plants. We have to become one with the animals. I was talking to some people last night telling them about centipedes. I say if a centipede is a threat to you, I understand. If you kill it, but it's not a threat to you and you see it going inside the cupboard, go tomorrow morning and open the cupboard and look. You'll see 5 or 6 dead cockroaches inside there. So the centipede has its purpose. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if we become one with everything around us, we become better people. No, we are not going to be successful in everything because we all have to be on the same level. And there is where the spirituality comes in. My brothers and sisters, we are mind, body, and soul. We think of our minds because we think of vanity and riches. We say, let me go to a university and become a doctor or get a doctorate or a master's degree so that I will increase my mind. No, this is not true, but this is what you feel. You feel when you get a higher education, you increase your mind's capacity. Okay, that's fine. You do exercise. You may try to eat properly or not, but you do exercise and you say, well, my body, I treat my body well. And then once in a while, you remember, man, let me go up to church, you go sit down. No, that's not the part. The part that you're missing is your soul, your spirit. You're not looking at that. You're not uplifting it. You're going on the road and saying, I don't like sushi. You know, every time I see my stomach get upset. Why? That is what is bringing you down. Your spirit is lacking. Your spirituality was taken away from you when they gave you 400 years of salt and sugar. Cassava, broccoli, cauliflower, garlic. All of these things sound like, body man calling out all my food, them like. No, they are man-made and they were made for a purpose. Cassava, for example, when they were coming down to the end of slavery and they decided, well, they didn't want to have any more mouths to feed, they brought cassava. Because cassava has cyanide in it. It's not going to kill you. It is going to make you impotent, men and women. So they had cassava up to now in Africa. They have corrected it. Because, like I said, it's a man-made plant. So you can, nowadays you don't find any directly poisonous cassava. But all cassava have cyanide in it. All almond milk, all almond got cyanide in it. When I started doing this thing, I was telling people, well, don't use the cow's milk, use the almond milk, use the coconut milk. The only thing was right was the coconut milk. The almond milk has cyanide inside of it. There's only one natural nut, and all the rest nuts are man-made.
But let's look at the coconut, for example, and people don't understand how the seriousness of the coconut. Because the coconut came with its own water. So if you're stranded in a desert island, and when you look at the makeup of the coconut itself, the nut itself, if you're stranded in a desert island and the only thing that you have left to eat is the coconut, your life would have been extended longer than if you were in an ordinary island eating foods, because this coconut has lots of medicinal purposes, lots of medicinal benefits, and it feeds you, it nourishes your body, and it actually hydrates you. So that's all you need, food and water.
I normally would not have done something like this, but I tried to scribble last night and the day before a few things that if I get the chance I would like to make sure that I will look through the book for some of the things that I would like to make sure that I say on this program so that people will at least be a little more knowledgeable. Coming down here, the WINN bloody thing and the page that I wanted to find. But it's in the book, so I'll find it. Now, with coconut, you start with the outside shell of the coconut.
Yep.
We crack off the shell. Do you know that the brown crust inside,
Charcoal.
if you dry it and you pound it and you drink it, that is good for gallstones.
Mm-hmm.
That is good for skin ulcers. That is good for the eyes. But the people who knew about that were beaten, they were beaten out of existence. And so the new one will come in, the only thing they know that they use the fiber, they pump the fiber and make beds. Because you could use it for that too. But the coconut shell, the hard shell inside now where you crack with a machete, when you dig out the meat inside, you take that shell and you put it in the coal pot and you let it burn, completely burn to ashes.
Charcoal.
And then you have charcoal. You take that charcoal, you put it in a mortar and pestle with a tablespoonful of baking soda and a tablespoonful of sea salt. And you pound them together if you want them to become a gel because you like paste jelly. You throw in some honey or some vegetable glycerin. And you mix up that and get your little paste. And you brush your teeth. It's charcoal I brush my teeth with. I ain't saying that they're whiter than anybody else's own. I'm saying that in 1987 I got in an accident and all my teeth was shaky. And I went to the hospital and they told me that the best thing for me to do is to put on some kind of, and I know that in short, they didn't do anything to help me. I still have them shaky teeth in my mouth. They're not shaky anymore because I just left them there. I make some braces with bamboo and stuff and kept them in place. And then they drop out and they drop out and they drop out. But I still have my original teeth. Now some are missing, but that is where it comes in when you talk about loving yourself. If you love yourself and your teeth drop out what God give you, you go put in a fast teeth. No, that is money you want to impress people because when you smile, when I smile you don't like see my face, turn your face. I done there. You understand? We are not appreciative of this fact. Now I was talking to a preacher recently and I believe he got offended because I was so blatant. I am Aquarius. We don't sugarcoat anything. If you want sugarcoated, go to the bakery. If you come to me, I'm going to come straight and forward and tell you the gospel truth that everybody is hiding from you. Because as long as you do not face the truth, if you're in denial, you're not going to solve your problems. If you make a mistake, go and make a correction, and you become a better person. You can, it's a hibby. No. When is it going to change? That is the problem that we have, one of the basic problems. Like Miss Quilly was saying, we come to accept things, abnormal things as normal.
Yeah.
That is so absurd.
Yeah. The hypocritical side of us. Hypocrisy is a big thing. We pretend that it is, and it's not, and then behind your back you go ahead. And that's the hard part about it, Lloyd. It's when you look and see, we're talking about the coconut, there are other things, and because we're so out of touch with nature and get so caught up in things that is not even beneficial to us in any way. It's not going to help the way we live. It's not going to help us spiritually, financially, or even socially, but we get so caught up with it. There's a thing called charcoal. Children, lots of young children now who suffer from worms, the people who have those stomach ailments, and charcoal, the same coconut.
Any kind of poisoning.
Any kind of poisoning that you have, you just drink some charcoal and you get rid of it. And that is a coconut again.
Yeah. And then we go to the meat now. We use the meat for various delicacies because somehow we lost the true sense of eating when that white man was beating us, right? We started wanting to give him the delicacies that he needs. Listen, the white man body is different to yours,
Definitely.
You see them pills what the doctors give to you. The white man, they take them and get better, and you don't take them and don't, Understand that, Even the people in Africa, they take these same medication and they get better responses than you in the Caribbean. How long must you hear these kind of things to wake up?
It's true.
We have to awaken, otherwise, like Sandra says, many times when some people pass away, we can't say untimely death because we're not questioning the Almighty. But when the Almighty take you out of your struggles, it's exactly that what He has done. The life you have lived have put you in a life of misery and sorrow and pain, and therefore, for whatever reason that has happened, the Almighty says, well, okay, there's no need for you to endure anymore. Let me take you and put you this way. And we call it transition death, and we start to get sad. No. Why do we go to the hospital and have 100 needles plugged into us? That is unnecessary. That's the doctor trying to look important. Make your family come in and look like he's doing a lot of work. Now, I am not discrediting the doctor, mind. Don't go say that. The doctor has his purpose. The doctor's purpose is one that is given by the sacred Almighty, the Creator. The Creator sent the doctor to tell you, to diagnose and tell you, this is your problem. From there, so, the rest is up in the air. Because the doctor doesn't make the medication. The big pharmaceutical companies, they make the medication and they ain't interested in life. They're interested in prolonging a sickness until you die. So we eating to live, we eating to die, we eating ourselves to death. There are a lot of things that I can talk about this morning, but I don't want to bore you. Listen, testosterone and estrogen are being put in the food from a long time.
Yep.
Before FC came here and started selling these kind of chicken, what they just sell. No, nothing wrong with chicken if you're going to give people God chicken. When you start to go through a lot of chemical processes and so, you're doing exactly that. They put hormones in those chicken, right? The hormones, it takes 900 degrees to destroy that hormone. Which one of your oven in St. Kitts that go up to 900 degrees? Your oven go up to 350 or 500, and it's done there.
If you go up to that point, the chicken is going to be black.
Exactly.
You're going to burn the chicken. It would not be edible anymore.
So you see what happens. You see what happens. They put in the estrogen and the testosterone. I was watching it because at that time, like I tell you, people will tell me, anyway.
And then again, they add the MSG.
So I'm going again to that. The GMO, the GMO structuring of things is purely chemical because they want to prove from a long time since they built the Tower of Babel, they want to prove that the creators who said, let us build man according to our likeness. Now remember that word. He didn't say, he was not let I or let me.
Us.
It's let us. So why you telling me about one God again? That's a different story for a different day. Okay? No, you see, no, Yahweh is the God who said, I am Yahweh your God. Have no other God but me. Who is talking to the white man them in the Caucasus Island because he had just made them.
You see, Lloyd, let me tell you something. It's so much, the topics, and for us, the confusion, you see, it sounds chaotic because it's the way we are. We are bombarded with all sorts of things. The food is a problem. Religion is a problem. The air that we breathe is a problem. The water that we drink is a problem. The clothes that we wear, the fabric, the stuff that is placed in there is a problem. Our hairstyles are a problem. The dyes in there are a problem. It is everything has been designed to destroy us, but yet still we pay money. We work hard so that we can achieve, so that we can get money to buy the poison that is going to destroy you. And that is the bad cycle of life.
I'm going to give you a joke, right? A couple of days ago when I checked my pocket, I had no spending money. If you're going to be budgeting good, you got to decide how often you're going ATM and that kind of thing. Otherwise, you're going to be spending off what little you don't have. While you're wondering what I'm going to eat today, a voice said to me, you're telling people must fast all the time. Why don't you fast for 3 days? And I laugh. So I fasted for 3 days. So what's about the money? What's about the food? I fasted for 3 days, passed a lot of
mucus,
undesirables, which I am always admonishing to the people. I am always making products, but when the products, I could only taste it because 6 and 7 people waiting for it, and I don't have any support. I go to do some mechanic work, make $100, and then go buy a bottle of coconut water for $25. Then I go over there and I buy something else, and I go over there and I can't get no honey, so I got to buy. You know how the honey story goes. And then I give to the people because the people are not aware, or they're not convinced that if they leave the doctor, they can survive.
But you know, Lloyd, and it's sad. And I'm going to tell you this: it's sad. Leave the doctor, you're going to survive. But when you go and you start to buy the natural things, our farmers are being ridiculous. You understand? Because you buy a bottle of coconut water for $25. $25 you're going to buy a bottle of coconut water for. For me, that is a one-day drink.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you're done, you're going to buy $5 a pound for sweet potato, and sometimes only 2 becomes a pound. You understand? But there are other things that can do better than that. You show them to me. The food that we feed the hog basically is the food that we should be consuming. The herbs that we see that we call wild, and we pass them, and it's easy to pluck and having to buy. We pass them because one, we're not aware of their nutritional benefits or the medicinal benefits, and so we pass them because we're not aware of it. We're not in tune with nature, so therefore nature doesn't speak to us.
And that goes back to our spirituality.
It is exactly what it is.
Because we lack the spirituality to extract what is ever present. I was passing one day and I see this guy with this weed eater. I said to him, could you please let me pull up some of those bushes? Why you want them bushes here for buy? Them there, I go to nobody else. I said, listen, could you let me pull up the bush? He asked me, what is the name of the bush? I tell him, Little Iron Weed. He laughed. He said, that the name Little Iron Weed? I said, yeah. I said, would you like me to show you? So I took out my phone. I have an app that I got from Brazil. And I showed him that it was Little Iron Weed. And he said, why good for? So you got phone that you're going on the internet. Go and find out what it's good for. And following day he came and he said, boy, I couldn't believe this here, boy. And so I just showing you, right in your yard outside your fence, you have a tree called Little Iron Weed. Paris Pharmacy, Paris, good morning, Mr. Paris. Paris at Paris Pharmacy, right? Can tell you. I introduced him to the plant one day, and a lady was sitting there. And she was complaining that she had pains in her head. She would have this pain in her back, and they were there for this a long time. And so I told her, well, many times it's magnesium that is missing from your body. Mm-hmm. We need a lot of magnesium that they're not going to tell us this. If they tell us this, we're not going to get sick. No, I am not blaming the doctors. The doctor's duty is to tell you what is wrong with you. You pay him, he give you a prescription. You go and you fill the prescription. And not blaming the pharmacy. The people who own the pharmacy trying to make a service available to you because they are fooled into believing that pharmaceutical products are better than herbs. And it is not so. It is not so. Even if it were not written in the book you call the Bible,
but the Bible
it still is the truth.
But the Bible said that, though.
Yeah, but I say, even if it were not written there, it is still the truth. Yeah. But if you become one with your surroundings, you talk about the same amaranth. There's a bush which is called amaranth. You call it wild callaloo. There's one which has a prickle on it, and you can't pick the one because that is the male tree. And the purpose of that is to germinate and pollinate all the time. So it has to come. Mm-hmm. But there's the other one which you can hold the flower and everything is nice and so. And you pick that, and that they give that the first thing that they gave about 3 different kind of magnesium, they give vitamin K, they give potassium. When you put that in a pot, you only need some water. You could pick some of the hog meat. The one what we call hog meat, we call
parsley.
It broadback.
Parsley? That's the parsley?
No, it's got a small red flower on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
The broadback, right? You put them there together. One day passing, hungry, I got looking for some moringa to eat. And I plant, every time I pass the planting, she hit me in my face. I bite the leaf, right? But that's the best thing I could ever do. Do you know you could eat planting leaves just like that?
I know the health benefits of planting is
planting by itself got a lot of benefit, but
if the fruit has benefit, the leaves will have its own. Yeah.
Listen, sometimes when we go mountain and we get tired because little boys going mountain get tired and hungry before they realize they have to walk with something to eat, and we go on looking thing. We cut out a piece out of a coconut tree, and if you see how that they taste. And the water is springing water.
I know you could do that from the same thing with the planting tree. The
and
bottom of it, you cut an area from that and you toss it and you hydrate
the water.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
The banana tree also.
So, yeah.
The pawpaw tree.
Yeah.
But the thing about the pawpaw tree, you gotta be somebody like me who can drink it and say, and clean up your face and drink it again.
It's bitter.
Because it's bitter. And let me talk about the pawpaw. With the throw away the pawpaw seed, you know how much benefits you just throw away there.
Yeah.
The pawpaw seed. You could kill parasites with pawpaw seeds if you know how to prepare it. Mm-hmm. Now I am here to give you 1 or 2 recipes that I'm gonna impart to the general public, but you can't expect me to tell you all of my work and then me ain't gonna work. So no, but truly. And seriously, the pawpaw seed, if you take the whole, the inside of the pawpaw, just scoop it out with a spoon, seed and all, throw it in a blender, and blend it. Then you strain it off because now you have the seeds, right? I ain't telling you that you must go like that. If you could take it, you could take it. If you can't take it, strain it, you take off the seeds, you strain that. You drink that, drink a glass of that, a 9-ounce glass of that, until you finish. Now what you just did, you start strengthening your heart muscles. You start strengthening your arteries. You start cleansing mucus from your trachea, from your esophagus, from your throat then, from your throat area.
Aid to digestion.
You help the thyroid gland.
Yeah.
You strengthen the heart. You help yourself to prevent cancer. And last but not least, when you reach by the back door, anything that is whole, you take it out.
Yeah.
So when you go to the bathroom, you have a bowel movement which shows that you ate a pound of rice and it come back out. The problem what we have is that we eat a pound of rice, 1 ounce come out and we think we went to the toilet. No. When that is the biggest thing that I want to talk about too. This eating and don't like to go toilet. I could have put it another way, but you could say it for yourself. We like to eat, but we don't like to, and I done there. But you have to like to, otherwise you're going to look like this or look like that, and then you're going to develop too many problems to solve. You're going to end up taking 13 tablets. Anybody taking 13 tablets a walking drugstore. Okay? Don't care how you look at it, that is what you are. Now, in order to get away from this, you have to, first of all, I'm telling you again, go and lift your spirit.
But there's no quality of life if you're taking 13 tablets a day.
Exactly.
If you're taking 1 tablet a day, you have to start looking seriously of what the problem is. But when you start taking 13 tablets per day, that's 13 contradictions you have going on inside here and 13 different problems. So sooner or later on, how much longer would your body be able to withstand that 13 tablets that you're taking a day? And we don't sit down and think it. A doctor gives it to you and you take it and you drink it. Never ask the doctor what it's good for. Because, and when you read the side effects, you're taking it for one thing and it's creating other problems.
And they are by my old aunt, right? Sorry. And the doctor came to visit and she opened a cabinet. Because you know them old people, she was 96 at that time, right? So you know them old people still got a cabinet. She opened the cabinet and what she showed the doctor astonished him. She showed him the years that he had been treating her, giving her these prescriptions which she'd been filling and putting in the cabinet. And she still has the problem.
Yeah.
Now, when she started dealing with me, she stopped dealing with them. So when he comes, she will tell him, well, if you want to give me one of the injections, what does sting, which is the vitamin B12, you give it. And then I start to find sources of that because they tell you that you can't find protein. It means you don't have to get it from animal protein. Before we were eating animals, we were the strongest people. We were giants. We built all them pyramids and so before the white man came, you know. But we don't want to hear about it. We want to take over from the white man's world. And that is why we eat in the stupid food.
That's why we maintain the slavery mentality. We are always slave. That's the thing about black people. They always go down to that point. Not to the fact that we build pyramids. Not to the fact that we were so powerful. But we go back to that area where we were the least of who we are as human beings, slaves, and we adopt that slave mentality, and because of that, we are where we are at.
I'm going to give you, we're going to take a call.
Yes.
But let me just make one point here.
Okay.
When they say Adam and Eve had the children, right? And they tell you that Cain slew Abel, and they say that the father tell Cain, go to the city of Nod, they don't find your wife.
Okay, let's take this call. Caller, your life on your views. Can you make it short, please?
Hi, good morning, Sandra.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Professor. It's quite interesting that you go down this road, and most of what he's saying is practically true. Because lots of the medicines that the doctors prescribe to you, they don't take them.
Yeah.
They even skip to take an aspirin, authentic.
Yeah.
Because lots of these medicines have side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's true that there's some medicine you should only use at a very rapid and short time period.
Yeah, for comfort.
And the rest of your body should be taken over by nutrition of which you eat.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of things that we go into, most of the things that we eat and drink because we're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we take the shortcut. And while we're taking the shortcut, we are destroying our system. Mm-hmm. And then we expect the doctors to work miracles to bring back the system of which we had. because we have taken the shortcut by drinking a lot of sugar, eating a lot of makeup food and all of that. So we are responsible for our body, and it's ours, and we have to do better than what we're doing.
Thank you.
We're doing good, but we sure can do better.
Yeah, thank you. Because let me tell you, as much as you hear me here talking about, oh, you should do this, I do the same thing. So don't feel bad. The people should. We say we do never practice what we preach.
But we should be reminded at times to do the right thing.
Yeah, you try.
Because as humans, we forget so soon.
Yeah.
You know? We keep on forgetting it, and not that you're calling on anybody. You're just reminding them, hey, look, what you're doing may be good, may be okay, but there's a better way than what you're doing, because the tablet, the pharmaceutical, they have lots of side effects.
It's true.
And you have to get out. If you can exercise, exercise. If you can eat well, eat well. But one of the things that turn on most of the estrogen and the penicillin and everything in your body is exercise. So you must burn up the calories as they go into your system. And take care of yourself. Nobody could do that better than you.
It's true.
Have a good day.
Thank you for your contribution. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes down to that. You know, we say it, we know it, but yet still, it's like an addiction. The sugar is addictive. The bread is addictive. The chicken is addictive. Let's take this other call. Caller, your life and your views.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you and the person on the panel here. Yeah, it's so true. Because, I was just saying, right at all a girl, I said, suffer with migraine and I said, well, one day I was looking at my TV and, it was telling you what you can use, do get it with some exercise or something and try it around your head. And you just relax a while and you'll get it go and use other things and you'll get it going to, if I try to help her with something, I'm not in a bush. Oh, you get to read the problem. You got to use these things and these natural, just as the guy just saying, right? Mm-hmm. It is true. Everything the guy there on the panel saying is true. Because it's helped the natural thing. These days, Sanjay doing nothing but using natural bush. I want a tablet, lucky. I will hook like we used to go buy the paracetamol car. Some doctor went to and they prescribed it to me. A couple of years ago, and I feel okay. It's going to ease the pain, my headache, when I get into the headache. And I used to continue. And then finally last year, I had a big box about a year to go in, and then it's finished. And last year I went, I only could get a small one in my mind, And, okay, I bought it and I used it up. And from that time, I finished, me never urging to go buy another one. I find and I feeling well. I see things in my yard, bushes. Why I think it's just poison bush? They're not. That's good bush.
Yeah.
There's a bush when I use it, I pass gas go. I call it, somebody come saying it's named paracetamol. That's why they heard about it in St. Thomas, the name. But they have a real
there's a bush called paracetamol. Yeah. That is very good.
Yeah.
Myanmar?
Yeah, the name paracetamol. The name paracetamol was taken from the bush to the tablet.
Yeah.
To make you believe that when you take the tablet. No, that is not the bush you get in. That's the name of the tablet.
Exactly.
Oh. Yes, the bush I using, I drinking, I feel good at my age. 7 man one, I feel good. I don't know. I ain't going in a drugstore. You hear what the lady said? The amount of years she taking these tablets and she have them dead and she ain't feeling no better. Right? I was looking at a doctor thing they are going now.
Let me tell you, we have to definitely cut each other, because I mean that's the idea when you bring people in so that they can give information so that others can benefit. He has some information that he needs to share. I am sorry. One of these days I'm going to open the line so everybody can call and talk about their stories. But I really appreciate the fact that you can call in now. But he has some information that would be beneficial to other people with different ailments. Okay, thank you for your contribution. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it is for the lack of knowledge, man will perish.
Okay, I'll show you something. This is easy. If you pass the cactus outside, the flat cactus outside all the time, the fence, and everybody uses it. You wash your hair with cactus. You leave it in. You leave a little in it for a few days and wash it out. I used to put in cactus every morning and wash it every 7 days. Wash my hair. Your hair, the roots that you were not seeing before, start springing back out.
Yeah.
And your hair starts joining back together. You stop get gray hair. I am telling you, the gray hair stops. But you got to take the cactus. You cut the cactus, slice it, and put it in some coconut water. You say, okay, let me say one average cactus, 1.5 to 2 cups of coconut water, 1 teaspoonful flattened of turmeric powder if you haven't got the turmeric itself, and you let that soak for an hour at least. And you drink it twice a day, or one. So that 2 cups, 2.5 cups of coconut water will give you 2 glasses. So you drink 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening for 3 days. And then some of the pain in your head start to leave you. Some of the pain in your back start to leave you. So what you're going to do, go back and drink it for another 3 days. Eventually, when you get up out of the toilet one time and you look inside, you will see the mucus that was, or the inflammation that was causing the pain. Ironweed is called inflammation bush. That is what the old people call
That's
it.
the one with the purple.
The one with the little purple flower that
they
show you
show
on
me.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And so if you understand that the old people talk it raw, just like me, information. If they tell you it's inflammation bush, why then are you cutting it with a weed eater and throwing it away? You see, if you leave it there, right? The days the week got in 7 days. One of the days out of them 7 days, the flock of goat come down and they clean up the information weed. And they come back so. The next day they come back and they clean up the carpet daisy that I told you about for the thyroid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Carpet daisy is a thing that healed the thyroid. A woman in Miami, a Calypsonian in Sandy Point, one of the greatest Calypsonians in Sandy Point, mother, proved that to the doctor in Miami when we send the bugleweed for her.
Wow.
When the woman drink the carpet daisy, the doctor telling her, you see the tablets working? You see the tablets working? And she just laughing because the tablets home and she drink the bush that come from St. Kitts.
Carpet daisy is the same thing as bugleweed?
It's the same thing. They call it bugleweed because it is from the bugleweed family.
Okay. Because
But
I see
it's not-
normally when you see thyroid medication, it has that in their bugleweed. It's one of the main
So
ingredient.
you see, the bugleweed
Yeah.
is the thing that cures the thyroid.
Yeah.
But it has different species.
Yeah.
And the one that we have here is called carpet daisy with the little yellow flower on the top.
Yeah.
That goes outside the cane field round. But anytime you turn in a corner, you see them there. And you joke with me on that, just after I had my stroke in 2011, right? I am walking up the road to take some exercise, and I'm feeling down and out. And I said, boy, I got to find a home because I got to stay close to my toilet, eh? Because remember I just had a stroke.
Yeah.
So I can't hold nothing good. And I'm walking up the road and I just see this tree here just waving. So I do so, no wind blowing. I walk a little further, look back, the tree waving. I say, hello, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So I went back and I pick it.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, in less than a week, I walk from Monkey Hill to Buckley's, holding my stool. And
Wow.
come back.
Wow. You see, when you're in tune to nature speaks to you.
So now this
That's
is what I'm
the-
telling you. So I start to talk to the tree them now.
Wow.
So when I go out at night, I say, tobacco tree, good night. I touch the leaf and massage it. I say, I have a little boy in there got some asthma. And I need for him to regurgitate. Could you please give me one of your leaves so that I will help him? I know that I shouldn't pick you in the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with all due respects, I know that you prefer me to help the fellow than to leave him there. And you see a leaf wave, so you pick the one.
Yeah.
And you go with it.
People
You
don't
take
know
off the
that.
tip and just make a little bit of tea and give him to drink for 15 minutes. Just sip it, sip it, sip it, sip it. He vomit. You see what was causing the asthma attack? He ain't got no more asthma, if you don't let it come back. What I cause asthma a lot is these things here, these rugs and these lot of ornaments that you have hanging up all over with the fiberish cotton thing. Think your house look good for when people come? Please people when they come in and don't please the children they were catching asthma. No, you got to take them away.
You know, you go back to the tobacco leaf. A guy told me he's a herb. I like speaking to people who do herbal medicine. That's the reason why I bring people on my program because, there's a lot of information out there. And he said, my daughter, she had a cold. And she said, give her some of the tobacco leaf. I'm like, nah. He said, give her. He said, you're going to know when you give her too much because it gives you that, you drink some first, it gives you that stinging, strange sensation, you know. For you, it's too strong. Tone it down a little bit for her. And I was amazed, honestly, about the night when she went home and the mucus that she brought about her stomach. I said, tobacco leaf, yes. Yep. It has.
Yes, and this little boy who I went to look for him because he love his mother. And the man gave me tea, he named the Fabulous Tea. Anytime he feel a little anything, he say, Mommy, call Professor and tell him bring the Fabulous Tea for me. The Fabulous Tea. The Fabulous Tea make from a peg of garlic. Garlic is poisonous, so you cannot overuse it.
Yeah.
Okay? I am not telling you to go throw away your garlic. Don't tell, because I might also tell you something that garlic is good for. Garlic is good for the prostate. It's a man-made plant, mind you, but it works for the prostate because you're eating a lot of chemicals.
But not only that, but garlic is grown in the earth. So even though it's man-made, it would absorb lots of the mineral from the soil.
After a certain amount of time, you should desist from using it and let your body purge itself because it has a poison in it that is not it's a slow poison, like a slow poison. And that is because it is man-made. But if you go back to the original plants that were used to make garlic, you're in good hands. The same thing, carrot. Carrot is very good because it is a source of beta-carotene.
Beta-carotene, yeah.
But if you go back to the purple carrot or the white, you ever see white carrot? They got white carrot with a purple head. The head of the carrot where the tree is purple.
They call it parsnip, but it's the carrot itself.
That is carrot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that is what was used with the queen lace to make carrot.
Yeah. The hybrid.
That was blended.
The hybrid.
If you could do that yourself, you just cut a triangle and cut another plant with the triangle, fit it in there. You tape it with some plastic and you leave it.
And it's going to become whatever you want.
Unlike any other tree.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is that the seeds won't allow you to sow them. When you sow the seeds, you get back the original plant.
It's true.
And that's what happened with a lot of the seasoned pepper that they sell. When you take out the pepper out of them and you plant back the seeds, you don't get seeds because it's GMOs.
Yeah.
The GMOs. Israel, it's long time Israel doing this thing. Israel stopped the world from consuming purple onions and start to sell white onions because they're able to put little bit of poison. A lot of people get food poisoning from onion because of how you use it. You should buy small onions. Never buy large onions unless you cannot do better. And when you use a large onion, buy a lot of them. So that when you cut one and you use half, you leave the other half in the ear to pick up a lot of poison.
And that's, you know.
And then you will see how I used to sell in a shop. And that's all I do. When the cold season come on, I cut 2 onions and I put them by the cash register. So when you come and you cough, it's all right. Because I know the ear around me. It's going to be purged with the onion.
And you see,
that's why the onions get the black thing around the wings.
Yeah.
Because it sucks up. You put it in the fridge, it suck up all the poison.
And that's what people do. People do. That is the strangest thing. I told someone that the other day. If you cannot consume all of the onion, then you're going to have to throw it away because you put onion, the onion extract all the bacteria, all of the viruses out of the atmosphere. And then you go and you eat that again, it's the same. You're contaminating your body. But a lot of people don't know. It's the way, it's the lack of information that we have.
So they tell you that the mayonnaise poison, your mayonnaise doesn't poison. If there is a mayonnaise that poison you, it kill you one time. Because
he said he's talking about why vampires don't like. That's Socrates going on.
My brother, good to see you. The reason could be that it just disturbs their balance.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
They sleep.
It disturbs the balance. Listen, I make some ointments, right? And on many occasions, I am not lying. On many occasions, I have given these ointments to people. They tell me that the ointment work, but they can't keep it in the house. What that mean?
Wow. Well, you know,
Lloyd, what does that mean?
Lloyd, I'll tell you what it means. It means that we're out of time. It's a pity. I only have an hour.
Okay, so please, just let me give you one recipe, any one recipe, I'm going to choose one.
Okay.
Okay. For fatty liver, diabetes, blood vision, high blood pressure. Half a cucumber, half glass cold water, boil, 1 tablespoonful turmeric, put it together. Okay, if you have water in your knee, which is a very serious problem, you need a green plantain. 2 tablespoonfuls of baking powder, 2 tablespoonfuls of sea salt, 2 tablespoonfuls of honey, a tablespoonful of mustard. It's in your kitchen, you're making your cures.
You see,
Put it on your knee with the piece of plastic, the plastic where you wrap up the food with, and you're good to go.
You see, we are. It's a pity how fast time runs when you are being informed. It's a pity how slow time goes when you have negativity and that you're trying to get rid of. But it was a beautiful program. I thank you for coming, Lloyd. It is so much things that we have out there, and I would want you to come. Not I would want you. The people would ask me to let you come back, so we can make it a vibe where we can come in and we can start to, because you know why people do the things that they do, because they don't have the information. So we can't blame people for doing some of the things that they do because they are not informed and they do what they think is the right thing to do. But for us, we have to start looking at making life and this earth a different place by the positive energy that we can put in. We spend too much time breathing negativity into the atmosphere. It is more difficult to breathe negativity than positivity, and the benefits of positivity change your lives. It brings longevity. It changes the whole environment of the world. Look at what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. You have all these accidents happening. Yep. Natural deaths are coming for younger people, so I don't know how natural it is. You have gunshots. You have a world that is plagued with negative energy. You speak to somebody and they get angry. Yeah. Your friends are no longer somebody you can confide in. People are out there trying to destroy you. People you think were trying to uplift you are the ones who are bringing you down, because the world is changing. And a lot of us we are not going to change with the change because we are not in tune. It's the same thing you talk about the tree waving to you and no wind is blowing. When you're in tune with nature, nature speaks to you. Exactly. You can only speak Spanish to a person who understands Spanish. Exactly. They would not understand you. And so therefore, you have to be on the same wavelength and the same energy, the same level in order to communicate. You have one last word that you want to say, because Socrates is waiting and he doesn't like people infringing on his time.
I'm going to give the word to Socrates. Socrates, like coffee? There? Okay. You got guava tree next to you? 7 leaves of guava with a piece of ginger. You say, if you want, 3 pegs of garlic. A piece of ginger 1 inch long. And tell me what I do for you. Now you boil the ginger first. You let the ginger stay in the water for 3 minutes. Throw in the guava leaves for 2 minutes. Cover it down. Put in 4 pieces of clove. And it's almost like Viagra. But don't say nobody else tell you that.
It was a pleasure. It was really a pleasure having this discussion. I mean, I have my technician. He is so anxious. He's so happy with the information that he's getting. Lloyd, he wants to see you before you leave. He wants to know how to do a lot of things. It is it's amazing the information that we can have and the interest that it generates, instead of that kind of politics and otherwise. Socrates here, and I have to take my leave.
It's okay. We've got a noni tree. Most mornings we drink a small shot glass tumbler of noni.
Well, I tell you,
not too much of it.
What you do with noni?
Sweet.